There's a heat wave in LA right now, but this is part 2 of the harassment videos for my tutorial series, YouTube Gals. Today we're going to talk about the tools that we can use to deal with online harassment. You can watch part 1 definitions video by clicking on this lip balm. I talked a little bit about safety precautions in part 1, like not using your real name on the internet and equipping all the privacy settings on your personal accounts and not giving specific details about where you live. That last one isn't much of a problem for me because I actually live in the skincare sales section of the Sephora website. As a preliminary effort, I suggest creating a separate email account for your YouTube channel. I know that this works because I did it on accident when I was 12 and it's definitely been beneficial in the long run. YouTube sends a notification to that email account whenever someone subscribes, likes a video, or leaves a comment anywhere on my YouTube channel, and that means that I have receipts of all the activity that happens on my YouTube channel. And I can easily access all of that evidence without having it sent to my normal email account and clogging my inbox. Once you start making videos, your #1 most important asset is each other and the block button and knives, but mostly your friends. Use your buddies as a support system and a defense mechanism. I, for one, am a fire sign with a lot of unresolved anger, so I'm ready to fight constantly. So if you're getting a bunch of nasty comments, then please send me a link to it and I will post it everywhere, and I will throw Shakespeare insults and swords at the mean people and throw a bunch of love towards you. And obviously this series prioritizes teenage girls, but that's open to anyone watching this, especially teenage girls. Especially. And if you're a minor, find a good adult you can trust. And I say that cautiously because I know that just doing that can be extremely hard for people for a lot of reasons, but just find, your teacher or a relative or your best friend's mom, someone who's smart and mature and knows what is good for young people and can champion you. I'm really lucky to have my mom. She's brilliant. She reads every comment on all of my videos. She's like, why is this person with a cartoon horse icon leaving sexually violent remarks on your video? I don't know, Mom. And of course, you gotta know how to block and report people, so I've included links to guides on those things for Tumblr, Vine, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and I gotta say, I don't really trust the reporting mechanisms on a lot of these websites because there's basically no consequences for bullies and bigots. But that's the world we live in, so at the very least you won't be able to see in their gross comments anymore. Speaking of other social media accounts, Haley G. Hoover talked about this last year at VidCon, where she will invite people to talk to her on Twitter rather than in the YouTube comments section. And the YouTube comments section, I gotta say, aside from being full of vitriol and hatred, is also just really poorly formatted and it's hard to keep track of conversations. Anyway, Twitter's better for that, and she said that that way it's a lot easier to keep track of people and hold them accountable if they start acting weird. If you have a Tumblr, get Stat Counter. It's free, it's easy to use, it's got tons of gadgets, comes with directions, and best of all, it tracks IP addresses. IP addresses are like little name tags for your electronic devices based on what internet network that you are hooked up to. Stat Counter can help you keep track of a lot of things. For instance, as I was writing this video, someone from Beverly Hills spent 2 hours searching through every blood-related tag on my blog. Okay. On the flip side, because of Stat Counter, I know that someone working in the office of the Folger Shakespeare Library in Washington, D.C. watches my condensed Shakespeare videos. That doesn't have anything to do with online harassment. I just think it's neat. YouTube itself has built-in demographics. You can access it in the analytics tag of the creator page, and it's handy. There is a margin of error. It only offers 2 genders, and people might lie about their age on the internet, but overall, I found it pretty useful. I hadn't checked mine in a while, and I was pleased to see that my audience mostly appears to consist of girls in the 13 to 24 range, which I love and certainly matches up with the comments that I get from you lovely ladies. YouTube also has a keyword search function where you can type in various words and any comment containing those words will be highlighted and you can block and delete at your leisure. Most of all, do not feel bad about blocking people. Do not feel bad about blocking people. You aren't doing anything wrong. You are doing the right thing. You are protecting yourself and your web space, and you're doing the right thing. If you need to take a break from being online, which I suggest anyways because it's not good for everyone to be online 24/7, but if you need to take a break because of online harassment, then please do whatever is best for you in that moment. Do you know how many 5-month breaks that I've taken from making videos in the last 6 years? Probably too many, but I'm still here. So what happens when you need to go beyond blocking someone? How do you know when it's time to involve law enforcement? I start start feeling worried when it sounds like a commenter knows where I live and is leaving really long, disgusting rape and death threats, and it has happened before. Most law enforcement agencies do not know how to deal with online harassment cases. It's a relatively new phenomenon, and even most crisis centers don't have the right kind of resources that you can use. Uplift, what? The nonprofit organization I work with, we are going to start collecting and creating resources because we are like the first nonprofit organization dedicated to dealing specifically with online harassment. And if you do feel like your physical safety is being threatened, then go to a crisis center because it's better than nothing. I don't feel comfortable telling you to trust wholeheartedly in your local police force for a lot of reasons, but I will link to the FBI cybercrime sheet form that you can fill out if it starts feeling serious. Again, this is why it's really important if you're a minor, if you're a teenage girl on YouTube, to have an adult mentor who can guide you through these things. So those are all the tools that I've used to combat cyber harassment. If you make YouTube videos and you have more tips, tricks, and ideas, then please tell me in the comments. Links to everything and more in the description of this video. Today's fact is that only 8% of the world's currency is physical money. The rest exists on computers. Speaking of, where are my AdSense checks? And if you need to pick me up, I suggest listening to my friend Tina. She's an incredibly talented MC. She's brilliant. We met at Brave New Voices. Link to her Twitter and mixtape in the description. That's all for me. I'm gonna go eat popcorn and watch X-Files. Later, nerds! Really, the most important tool that we have in fighting online harassment is bladed weaponry. I got this at a garage sale for $2 and it's awesome. Those are my sword sounds.